So welcome to today. My name's Tom Hough. I work with NWF Agriculture. Discussion point around today is the culmination of 3 days that we've put with Roger at Duchy, to be honest. The first day we worked, and some of the guys in this group here, we did some cow signals day. So it was started off with about an hour and a half in a lecture style environment, understanding the secrets basically of what the best dairy producers in the world do on a day-to-day regular basis to get the maximum lifetime and lifetime production out of the cows. If we can get lifetime production right, we get profitable cows, we get a happy farmers ready to invest more, we get even happier cows. So it's a lovely circle if we can get it all right. So the third day today is focused all about the dairy cow in more detail. My station here is going to give a little bit of a snippet about what some of the things these guys learnt in terms of dry matter intake and understanding what a cow needs in terms of feeding signals. I'm going to touch a little bit about cow signals and what we can do and how we can observe a cow and how she can tell us exactly what she's feeling, because she obviously can't tell us, but she's telling us in a different way. Right. Going to start on factors affecting dry matter intake. So as the day progresses, you're going to be touching on key parts of these things, and we've really tried to put some time and effort in to understand exactly which sort of speakers from around the country you need. Spike's going to be talking to you about rumen health. The rumen's obviously the engine of the cow. It's so important to get that right. It's unbelievable. Spike's going to talk to you about where things are digested, what works with a rumen to get the most out of it, what doesn't work, signs of when things go wrong, signs of when things go right. Freshness of feed is a key one with dry matter intake. Water intake is absolutely essential, but we often forget that because it's very simple and easy. A few snippets about water intake. I'm going to throw a few numbers out, and I'm going to be a bit mean later and see if you can throw them back at me. So this will be the first one. The way I remember water when I'm talking to guys like yourself is to do 4 numbers: 15, 30, 60, 120. So 15 doubled is 30, 30 doubled is 60, 60 doubled is 120. A cow drinks, if we let her drink, she'll drink at 15 litres of water per minute. She'll drink for about, in a 24-hour period, 30 litres a day. 30 minutes in the day she will drink if we let her. A water tank, another 30 is a water tank, needs ideally to replenish at 30 litres per minute. So big water hoses to get that water back in. 30 doubled is 60, so that's 60% of her water intake is taken within 60 minutes of milking. So that's why some of these really, really good units have recognised this. It's simple, it's a little secret. They've got a massive water tank as they come out of milking, and they've got access to water straight away. She will take some water if she passes by it. It needs to be fresh, obviously. And then 120 is just a figure to show you, on average, like a 30 litre cow will drink about 120 litres of water per day. If it's a hotter day or it's very humid, she'll drink even more than that. So those few snippets about water, it's vital and we need to get it right. The environment's key for dry matter intake. Do we allow her to get and feed when she wants and how frequently she needs it? A cow will eat every 2 hours. Are we letting her do that? Have we got her environment right? Has she got easy access to it? Does she have to go far? Can she get very close to water? Is there any bully cows in there? Can she get away from those bully cows? There's a very, very defined social environment within a group of cows. So we need to think through the eyes of the weakest cow. Is she in a happy place? Can she get away from those dominant cows? And can she eat and drink and get to where she needs to be and lie down when she wants to do it? So think about the girls that are at risk, the less dominant girls. Lameness. Joe, best person in the UK in my opinion in talking about mobility scoring and lameness practically. So Joe's going to talk to you about that. One question for you. A lame cow, do you think a lame cow lies down less than or more than a cow that's happy and producing well? Does a lame cow lie down less or more? Yeah. These boys took it on board. Nice one. Right, some people think... Okay, so he's absolutely on the nail. A lot of people think, oh, she's lame, she must lie down all day. Well, she doesn't, because she thinks, think about this in the eyes of the cow, she's in serious, make no mistake, a lame cow, she's in serious pain, because a cow will not show weakness. If you think back to when in history, in terms of when cows are in their natural environment, they're obviously being stalked by lions or whatever they're being stalked by, so they can't show weakness. So they'll go out and they'll eat and they'll come back. So if you see a cow showing signs of unhappiness or unhealth or lameness, make no mistake, she's in pain. She's not just doing it, she's not a footballer, Premier League footballer. Forage quality is massively important, as long as also these other things are: palatability, access to feed, social stress, as we've discussed before. So dry matter intake is a massive area. In terms of dry matter intake around calving, if you ask me about, all cows are important, and through a stage of lactation, my primary area of paying most attention to is what I call the princesses of the herd. These girls around transition, so between 3 to 6 weeks before and 3 to 6 weeks after calving, we need to understand and nurse, and I'll use that term, I'll use it again, nurse these girls through that transition period. Just a quick glimpse of what's happening. A dry cow will eat less as she gets closer and closer to calving. Can anybody think why naturally she would do that? Absolutely. So the calf's growing, putting pressure on the rumen. So naturally, she's going to be challenged to have less space. So we've got to have a bulky diet to make sure she can get access to it as well. Another thing that's going on, which, to be brutally honest, I know nothing about, but hormonal changes within this last 7 days. And what this simple graph is trying to show, and this was given to me by a guy called John Cook, who's very knowledgeable in this area, but he's saying basically up until about 2 weeks before she calves, things are pretty static, everything's going okay. Get to about 7 days before she calves, and then this absolute mess of hormonal changes is happening. At the same time that we're trying to maximise dry matter intake, it's very quick for her to be distracted that she doesn't want to eat anymore. Okay, so I'm going to use the nursing word again. We've got to nurse these girls through this period, rather than just walking past them and say, yeah, they're all right. We've got to actually think about cows through their eyes. Whatever a girl will eat before she calves is relative to what she'll eat after. So if this girl has a dry matter intake line below here, make no mistake again, that line that she eats after calving will be less. If she's eating less up there, she's more susceptible to fatty liver, she's more susceptible to DAs, immune will be suppressed, all sorts of things going on. We want to maximise dry matter intake. Body condition scoring is a tool to allow us to help assess if we've got it right or wrong. Body condition score targets, these are Holstein-Friesian targets. A lot of this data is taken from Dairy Co.'s body condition scoring work, which is really good, and I'm going to keep mentioning that because I'm going to guide you to that after, because I'm not going to be able to give it the time and effort it needs. But if you guys can go to the Dairy Co.'s body condition score YouTube site, there's about an 11 and a half minute clip of how to body condition score, which we'll touch on here, but not go into detail. But some targets, I'll tell you what we'll do. If you've been clever, you've just had a look at that. Body condition score target at calving. What would it be? Yeah, 3. Okay. What's the body condition? If the target body condition score at calving is 3, what's the target body condition score when you dry her off? Perfect. Why? Sorry. Absolutely constant. You need them in the right condition here, and then you need to keep her in the constant condition. Absolutely perfect. If we've got it wrong and we've got her down at body condition score 4, I'm sorry, but we've made the mistake. We've got to live with it. Talk to the vet about how to manage that cow at that point. This is why we body condition score 100 days before calving. If she's at 3.5 or 4, that's the time that we've got. We've got 3 months then to get that body condition score down, reducing energy intake, take some compound off her, put her into a different group, do something by all means to get her in the right condition. 100 days before drying off, yeah. Did I? An error. I will start again. 100 days before drying off. If she's in body condition score 3.5 to 4, that's the time to get her in the right condition. Then hopefully she's at condition score 3 at calving, and then this is the next one, minimising that body condition score loss 60 days post calving. If we have got that wrong and we lose up to a whole unit of condition score, which can easily happen, but we can only manage that by measuring it, we've got issues with longer term fertility and things like that. So what I'm going to do is, we might come back to that if we've got time, but at this moment in time I'm going to just refer you to the body condition scoring YouTube clip from Dairy College. It is really good. So body condition score will tell you what's happened a month ago. Rumen Fill tells you what's happening today. A cow, and we'll ask you this question a bit later on, a cow should, and in a natural environment, and the best farms in the world, have cows eating every 2 hours, okay? We can see by assessing rumen fill, and if we've got a friendly cow in the right position, we will have a look at this. My glamorous assistant will try and get a cow out. So, where's the rumen, on the left side or the right side of her? Left. So, boys over there, just point to her left. Right. So you're... Okay, so that's her, yeah, you boys are right, it's her left, yeah? So what we're looking at, she's not going to let us do it. And we've actually stopped her from eating. So that as a cow signal is not good, but it's all right, she's gone to water. So what we're trying to do is look at 3 points. We'll have to draw it because she's not playing ball. Okay, so we're looking.
Point to her left.
Okay, so what we're looking at, let her go, she's fine. So this is the last rib. So here's her last rib. Okay, down that side. These are the transverse processes. Okay, and this is a muscle coming down from the hook bone. So if we've got it wrong, it will be a very dominant triangle. Okay. So what we're looking at, and we'll do it in a second, is we're looking at how I do it, is I look at what the skin does from the transverse process down. Does it go straight down and out? And that means a full rumen. Does it go into the cow and down? What does that mean? Emptier or empty rumen, okay? Or does it go with a dry cow? Does it go down a little bit and then out? So we want a full rumen. So we're looking, let's keep it simple, we're looking at a rumen fill of 3. We want this, I'm not going to be able to speak in a minute, so I want this to drop around about 3 fingers. So we'll look at it in a cow in a minute. So from the transverse process here, I want the skin to drop about 3 centimetres and then come out at us. It shows us she's eaten in the last 2 hours, okay? When a cow comes past, we'll have a look. And then you guys, looking at her, which side, left hand or right hand side for rumen fill? Left hand side. When she comes out, if she gets us one, I want you to look at this point here. From the transverse processes, what does the skin do from there? Does it go into the cow? If it's into the cow, be as simple as that. Rumen fill's not good enough. If it goes straight down 3 fingers and out, we're doing okay. If he gets us one, that's fine. And we'll pause at that point. We've got a few pictures of it and what it looks like if we've got it wrong. So this is trying to show a very clear triangle. That skin is going into the cow and you can clearly see this muscle and this last rib. Okay, so this tells us what have these girls eaten today. It's giving you some daily management tools, okay? Here she comes. Let's see if we can do something. Okay, so quickly before she disappears, let her settle in, let her get comfy. That's it, good girl. You eat that. So guys, what's happening there?
It's a bit empty.
She's a bit empty, okay? So then, rather than what is the easiest thing to do is to be so busy we just walk past these girls. We need to stop, look and think about what's happening to her. Asking questions, stage of lactation, is she lame? Has she got some issues? What do you think about her in the general perception of that cow? What's her eyes like? Are their eyes sunken? Are their eyes okay? Skin colour?
I think she's a little bit dull.
But I think she's a bit dull. I think she's a bit sad. I think she's a bit...
I know she's inside, but she hasn't got quite a shine to her. Like.
I think there's something... she wants a little bit of attention. What do you think, John?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I can't just pinpoint it.
It's a little bit sulky.
A little bit sulky. So this is a case of stopping. You're busy guys. You've got a lot of cows to look at, but look at the risk cows and let's stop, look, think about what we're seeing and ask questions and see if we can find some answers on it. Okay. But right, thank you, lady. Next thing we're going to look at is a bit of a feeding signal. How much time have we got left, John? Do you know?
10 minutes.
Right. Okay. Right. We're going to also look at muck signals. Okay. In terms of scoring muck, another scoring of 1 to 5. I always start in the middle. When I'm body condition scoring, I look at around a 3. When I'm rumen filling, I get that 3 guideline. When we're looking at muck signals, we're looking at that 3. Does it form? Does the dung pat form a 2 to 3 centimetre deep pile? Okay. Can you guys see any dung behind you?
Yeah, a bit there, mate. Does that one go over there?
Okay. Right. All right. You go and assess that for me if you would. So, is it 2 to 3 centimetres deep, or is it deeper?
Nah, it's about 3.
It's about 3, yeah.
It's about a 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when it's passed, the sound that she should be making should not be this. So we're just looking for a nice consistent sound as it's passing in terms of a 2 to 3 centimetre deep pile. And when it lands, the boot test, when you lift your boot, there's no footprint left in the pile. Can you just put your foot in that pile?
Rob, you got wellies on there.
Cheers, mate. Just take it out. So it's just over a 3, I would say. 3 and a bit, but it's all right. It's not too bad. We could sieve it. Probably not going to have time to do it now, but we'll do a little clip of it later. But what we'd do is we'd grab 2 or 3 samples, about half a litre of muck in a container, run some water through it, sieve it out, and we're looking for 3 or 4 things. Have we got fibre, a lot of fibre over 1.2 centimetres? Have we got undigested grain in there? You'll always get a little bit, but how much have you got? We're looking for mucin casts, so the gut lining, and Spike will talk to you about the rumen lining. If we've got acidosis or any acidosis event, the lining of the rumen will fall out of there. And then the other thing we're looking for is... what else are we looking for? Right, if we've taken half a litre, 500 millilitres, we want less than 250 being in that bowl as well, so we can do some muck sieving. Diet sieving. What's an indication, guys, of a cow sorting feed at a feed fence? That's one thing, yeah. And what's that look like? Yeah, and if you look directly down it, can you see something? Yeah, it's like a hole. Okay, so she's very clever animals, cows. So that if they can sort the goodies out of it, she will do. And when you're walking past, again, you're busy. I know what it'll be like. You just walk through. If you can stop and just observe and think about what you're seeing, just see if you're seeing holes all the way up. We need to then take a Penn State sieve and do some examples of what the mix looks like straight out of a mixer, leave it 3 hours after she's eaten it, do that Penn State sieve again, and what are the differences in the proportions on each level. We've got on our website, we've got some sieving guidelines and some YouTube clips on how to sieve as well already. So is this a problem? Is this causing dry matter intake reduction because we've got issues with we've got cows sorting feed? We've got issues with acidosis. We've got far too much acid going into the cow.
got quality.
Yeah.
They get mad grade.
Love it.
Yeah, it's good for it.
Yeah. Yeah. What's sugar beet? What's fodder beet rich in? Yeah. So it tastes. It's palatable. I gave that answer. Did I give that answer away there? So.
Obviously, just gotta keep pushing when they
Yeah.
go along with the rollers, push it up, and they get to the stage where they eat and rest.
Right. We'll go. That's a good point. Right. Pushing up.
Shouldn't need to push it up. It should be there all the time.
No, 'cause it's straight things there, they push it too far away from them.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
So
Right.
you should-
Brilliant.
You should have troughs instead of open feeder, so they don't have to. They can't nose it away so easy.
Brilliant. Right. What if you haven't got troughs and you're no intention of putting troughs in because they're a pain in the arse to get to clean out?
Clean them out,
Keep on,
yeah.
Yeah.
Keep on pushing.
But if you haven't got troughs, yeah. How many times a day do the best people in the best?
Well, minimum 3 or 4 times.
Minimum 3 or 4. I would say 6. Yeah. But what you described, right? Cow signal. What would you look at? Looking around at cows, what would you see? What would be a cow signal to say to you that feed needs pushing up more?
Waiting at the feeder.
Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Both of those, yeah. So the next thing is take a tape measure. How far is the reach from where she started? Where she's? Oh, I'm trying to do something here. I'm not just being weird. Yeah. How many centimetres should that be? Do you think?
I don't know, 20 odd inches we put our troughs in now, I think.
20 odd inches.
24 inches.
Well, anyway. So we're looking for at least about 75, about 30 inches. So if we're measuring that, it doesn't matter as long as we're pushing it up enough, like you've just described, it doesn't really matter. But what it can be, what's another thing you've described it there? Did you say rub marks? Have we got any here that we can show? Any rub marks on the back of
She's got a proper dent in her neck.
Okay, so what's that suggesting? And there's one behind us here. There's a lot of cows here, and a lot of cow. It's not just here, by the way. There's a lot of cow. If you take anything away from today, stop and look at your cows and just see how many neck rubs there are. To me, that neck rub is saying there's some limitation in terms of her dry matter intake. So what can we do about it? We can raise the barrier. Who said that?
The barrier should be in a little bit as well.
Oh, flipping it.
Enough to be able to stop the cow.
Do you want to stand here and take this? It'd be, yeah. So do you want some numbers, or do you know numbers? In theory, where her foot is there and the barriers, the feed fence is in front, how high, in theory, for a Holstein Friesian should it be? Do you know? Doesn't matter if you don't know.
4.5 foot or something like that.
Oh, she'd stop. 1 metre 25, which is
4 foot.
4 foot. We're not in feet and inches, are we?
Yeah, we are, yeah.
Really? Is this Cornwall? Right. Okay. Well, 4.5 foot's a bit.
You get that by 20 feet?
Right. So at 1 metre 25, you talked about a recess.
Yeah, we
How long do you think that should be?
10, 12 inches.
10, 12 inches. Perfect. 25 centimetres. 10 inches, yeah. So that's fine. So from the recess in should be 25 centimetres.
10 inches.
Just like the top bit of her shoulder, isn't it? Like the top of her spine, just to be able to get it.
If you measure cows, you should have, if you measure your own cows, because every cow's different, it should be about 2 inches, the height of that barrier should be about 2 inches over, you see, I've got into your speak now, you understood that then, didn't you? 2 inches, 5 centimetres, above the average wither height of the cows, okay? So, that is a massive thing. On a lot of farms, it's one key area. I think if we can take that away, we can do some good. Start driving dry matter intakes, okay? We must be near time now. Just one little sheet, some numbers to take home. Give me some numbers on, tell me something about water, I told you before.
15 litres a minute they can drink.
Yeah,
30 minutes to do it.
yeah,
60, 70.
And you want a refill rate of at least 30 litres a
yeah. And then how much roughly would a 30 litre cow give?
120 litres.
Brilliant, 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 brilliant. How often should a cow eat? What would be a cow signal to show if she's eaten in the last 2 hours?
The full out goes.
What's the key thing you'll look at first? Brilliant. Oh, you've got it. Right. What do you reckon 55 to 70 stands for? What is she doing 55 to 70 times? Bit of a fantastic, Josh. Brilliant. So every time she brings a cud ball up, and Spike will talk to you about the rumen, you want her to be chewing that cud cud 55 to 70 times each time, okay? When you count 10 cows lying down in a cubicle shed, what's the target rate? It's on there if you're being clever. And what's the target of how many cows should be cudding?
70%.
Absolutely. Last one. In Italy, they did a trial in 2006, 47 farms. They all used identical TMRs from a factory. They went and got the TMR from the factory, 47 units. The average output from these units ranged from 21 litres to 34 litres. What does that tell you?
They had different cows.
Yeah, different cows. What else was different on that farm? Management. So ration composition is absolutely important, but do not forget the cow, the feed, the management, the housing, everything about it. Massive difference, yeah. And I think I've gone over time now, but you guys, that's good. One more, and then you can have a brew. Okay. Any questions before you depart? Well, if not, come and find me at lunchtime or whenever if you need anything more, but thanks guys for that.